Hello, welcome to Pilates Matwork. So today we are going to use the ring a little bit in class. We will use this mainly for some upper body work towards the end of class, but there may be some opportunities to use it during the class as well. So we'll use one of these. If you don't have one of these, we'll also use this to stretch. So a strap or a band will help you with the stretching. As far as things where you kind of press into it, you can get some of that by just kind of pressing in with your hands for the end. You're still finding that little bit of engagement. You can also press into a small stability ball or a yoga block if you have those. So there's different workarounds and things you can do. I encourage you to play. I'll have a link in my notes for this class as well, where you can click and order props if you don't have what you need. So there's that. I'm also going to recommend a blanket today. Now, you'll see me sitting on the blanket. My hips are really tight. This also will provide you with good knee cushion for things we're going to do with the ring towards the end. So maybe have that handy. So I do have water today. It's allergy season. My voice has been coming in and out. So I may take some sips during class. That's okay. We do what we got to do. So I am we'll start seated. So I'm just going to kind of move this blanket to best facilitate that. Good. And so if you're on a blanket or a yoga block, some people prefer that better, or a pillow, think about coming into a little bit of an anterior tilt of the pelvis. So the tailbone's going to come back a little bit. Your hip bone is going to rock forward. You can be crisscross applesauce. Legs can be in front of you. They can be out to the side. It's just really where you're comfortable. So let's think about the ears, the shoulders, and hips and relative alignment. We're in a long spine, but we don't want to completely flatten out the low back here. So try to keep a little natural curvature. And then from here, inhale. Exhale, zip up from pubic bone and behind the navel. We're just going to let the chin come to the chest. And a nice stretch down the back of the neck. Inhale and lift. Exhale, we'll take that chin and gaze where your ceiling and wall meet. Good. And while we're here, we're going to take the jaw a little bit more forward. So you get a little bit more of a stretch down the front of the throat here. It will make a funny face. And we'll release, head will come back to center. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to take my right ear to my right shoulder just because that's the side that faces the camera right now. Good. So to deepen the stretch, you can take your left hand, you can walk the fingertips out. You can extend that arm long and strong, or maybe your right hand wants to come up and rest right above that ear. So there's no pulling or tugging. You're just letting gravity give you that extra stretch and let that left shoulder relax a little bit here. And this is great if you get that tech neck, if you're on devices or at a computer a lot. And we'll release, we'll come back to center. Inhale, exhale, find that tall spine again if you went into what I call the slump. So nice and tall, left ear, left shoulder. Good. Getting that stretch down the side now. Good. And you can walk the fingertips out. You can extend that arm long. Maybe left hand comes up and reaches. So I don't always cue it, but remember, you always have the freedom. If you need to just kind of move that chin around a little bit and just find a nice sweet spot. So there's never anything wrong with that either. It's whatever makes you feel good. And then from here, we'll come back up. Good. From here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, I'm going to twist gently towards my right, rolling my shoulders back, looking a little bit more behind me. So remember, when we twist from length, and you want your belly button engaged. You should also be able to expand that rib cage. Good. And when you're ready, we'll inhale and lift. Exhale, center. Inhale. Exhale, we'll rotate to the left, taking those hands down, rolling the shoulders back, maybe looking a little bit more behind you. Breathing and expanding. Good. And we'll come up. and we'll come back to center. Good. So I'm going to take my arms down here. Let's just kind of loosen up a little bit. Take your arms forward. Let's turn the palms towards the ceiling. We'll take hands to the shoulders, and we're just going to open. Good. Now I'm showing you from this angle on purpose, because if I wasn't using my abs to keep my rib cage in, this might be what be happening here. So that's a different kind of exercise or movement. We're working on that stability with the core. So try to not do that. Good. You can take some circles here. Good. And then opposite direction. Good. So from here, we'll reach, and lengthen. We're going to take a side bend to the right. So you want to try and have right hand, right shoulder in line with that hip as you reach over. So really anchor through that other hip bone. And then you can choose your path. You can stay here. Remember, you can always come out of something that's not working for you. You might choose to open towards the ceiling. You might choose instead, belly button in, getting that C curve roll, forehead in the direction of the knee, but not touching. We're still breathing and expanding. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, coming up. Reach, nice and tall again. Exhale, taking it to the left. So thinking about that hand, shoulder, hip in alignment. Good, really reaching through that opposite side. Breathe and expand. And then you choose where you want to go. Do you want to open up to the ceiling? Do you want that C curve roll, belly button in, forehead in the direction of the knee, but not touching? Good. And inhale will lengthen. Exhale will come back up. Good. Just go ahead and just kind of roll those wrists. And when you get about shoulder height, let's just take them in the opposite direction. Good. So I'm going to turn and kind of face you now. We are going to come off a prop if you were sitting on something. I'm just going to move that to the side. But just for a moment, I'm going to take my arms out to the side and I'm going to roll again. Good. Now from here, I'm going to take my fists. I'm going to take them forward and then take them back and forward and back. So we do have a lot of planking. We have push-ups and Pilates. Sometimes that can get a little wristy. We'll kind of work a little bit on that. Good. Now, take it out with a fist or fingers spread wide. Just kind of move up and down here. Almost like you're waving, but not quite. We're just moving the wrist in all directions. Good. And then from here, just shake it, shake it, shake it. Good. When you are ready, we are going to come forward. Good. So as you come forward, good. Take your cat-cows. So I'm just going to make a little video thing here. Good. And then when you're ready, from your cat-cows, we're going to move. So we're going to continue to move here. Good. We're going to round. We're going to take it back, move down, moving forward, and take it up. Good. So kind of like a little bit of a roll. We're still warming up that upper body, but we're also warming up the core in the back. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll round, round, round. Good. From here, we're going to take the right foot back. I'm going to ground down that toe. Hip, knees, and toes are going to track. We're going to reach, and lengthen, belly button in. Good. Now we'll lift. Good. So from here, we're going to tap, toes in hand, and lift. And we'll tap, and lift, and tap, and lift, and tap, and lift. Good. As you lift, squeeze that glute. So you should be building a little bit of heat here. I'm also nice and stable through this shoulder. So I'm still rooting through pinky, pointer, and thumb. Good. We're going to lift, lift, lift. Good. We're going to round through center 4 times. 1, lengthen. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. I think that was 4. That might have been a little bit more. That's okay. We're going to take that to the side. So now elbow and knee are going to come to the side and lengthen. And 2, woo, 3, and 4. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Take that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. We'll come back, little child's pose here. Decompress the wrists. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good. We will come back in. We're going to take that all to the other side. So from here, good. Left foot's going to come back. Good. Right arm's going to come forward. Be stable and supporting shoulder. And when you're ready, lift that back leg. Here we go. And tap and lift and tap and lift and tap and lift. Good. Move with your breath. Squeeze that glute on the lift. Good. Let's try one more. Good. From here, we'll take the round and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, coming to the side. And we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Reach, reach, reach. Take that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Let's take a nice little juicy child's pose here. I'm going to cupcake the wrist and lower down. Breathe and expand. Good. From here, when you're ready, good. We're going to take that back forward. Good. I'm just going to walk my knees up. I'm going to cross the ankles and we'll come back. And with bent knees or lengthened legs, we're going to come onto our back here. Good. As you come down there, just roll your shoulders back, gets nice and settled. Good. Now we're going to go into some pelvic curls. We'll go into those clocks and then we'll come into bridges and some other things from here. So find your safe neutral. So think about your hip bones and your pubic bone being in that same plane. Tailbone's going to be heavy and anchored. Low rib cage is going to be heavy and anchored. Be wide for the collarbone. Zip up from pubic bone behind the navel or belly button deep into the spine. And from here, from the neutral, we're going to rock it back. That's the posterior tilt. We'll rock it forward. That's the anterior tilt. So you can take these as much as your body will let you, so long as you're not creating a lot of discomfort or pain. So I don't usually feel that myself in a posterior tilt. I will feel it if I come too deep into an anterior tilt. So that may be just me. Good. All right. Now we're going to go into that pelvic clock. So think about your pubic bone being 6. Your belly button is being 12. Your right hand is going to be your 9 o'clock, and your left hand is going to be your 3 o'clock. So from here, from the neutral, good. Inhale, belly button is in. Take it back. Here's 12 and 6 and 12 and 6 and 12. Pause. Here we go. Take it to the 3, 6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9, 12. These are deep, subtle movements. So we want control. We don't want this. So depending on your camera, it might look like I'm barely moving. I am moving, but I'm not moving a lot. This is deep, deep in the core. So you should feel this as you're properly engaged, really deep between that pubic bone and the navel. Woo! And it should be intense pretty quickly for you. So rock, rock, rock. Good. And when you're ready, good. We're going to zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel. Good. Once more, find your 12, find your 6, find your 12, find your 6, find your 12 and pause. Make sure you're deep in engagement. We're going to go to the 9, the 6, 3, 12, 9, 6, 3, 12, 9, 6, 3, 12. So I'm hoping before I have a procedure here in a couple months, I can take a short video of you with the camera over my pelvis and show you better how this works. Because sometimes it's just really hard when you're on the mat. Good. Now, rock, rock, rock. Whew. Take your knees into your chest for a moment. Rock, rock, rock. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to take those feet down. We're going to come into a bridge. So make sure your heels aren't too close into the glutes, but you don't want them to be too far away either. Hips, knees, and toes are going to track. Roll your shoulders back. Staying with that rocking principle, we're going to rock it back, peeling it up one vertebrae at a time. Good. You're going to come to your limit. Your body will let you know when you should not come up any higher. And then from here, keeping knees in line with the hips. We don't want them to go out to the side or collapse inward. We're going to roll that. Good. And moving back into that imprint and rocking it back. Sorry, I meant neutral. Whew. And taking it down. We're moving through imprint, coming into neutral. We're going to go again, taking it up. Taking it back down. This next time when we take it up there, we're going to leave it up there. Woo. Make sure you're nice and engaged. So before you move, just do a self-test. Do you feel even in the pelvis? Or does one side feel a little bit lower than the other? Could you find that evenness? Pressing equally into both feet, we're going to get that right hip drop and come back center. Left hip drops and center. That's 1. Here's 2, 3, belly button in tight. 4, 5, 6. We're going to try for 8, but you take a break as you need one. Here's your 7, and here's your 8. And coming back up, and we'll lower that back down. Good. Once you're down, take those knees into the chest. We'll rock, rock, rock side to side. Good. So before we go into marching, we're going to do a modified crisscross here. We're going to use our ring for this one. So if you don't have a ring, that's okay. You can press into a yoga block, that small stability ball, or just your hands. So you're going to find where you need to go. I'm going to take my ring up. I'm holding on the outside. I'm going to put a little pressure into this ring. So I'm going to keep a micro bend in my elbows. I'm zipping up. I'm finding that nice deep core connection. Inhale. Exhale as I come up. I'm going to come up towards the right and come down. And to the right and come down. And 3. Whew. And 4. Here using the ring. Press in as you lift up. And 5. And 6. Take a break. Could you go 7? Could you go 8? And we'll come down. Good. If you need a little bit of break here with the arms, take it. Otherwise, we're going to go right into the other side. So zipping up, we're nice and tight and connected. Inhale. Exhale up to the left and come down. And 7. And 6. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1, and we'll come back. Whew. All right, I'm going to set that to the side. We're going to come into tabletop knees here. So this is toe tap. And yes, there are a few ways that you can teach it. Some people do teach it with an actual tap. We're going to up that ante, and we're going to come to a hover. So one thing to worry about toe tap, if you're here in tabletop, you're at 90 degrees at the hip, you're 90 degrees at the knee, okay? You're keeping that as you lower, okay? So for example, I'm just gonna take this leg long just so you can see a little bit with my pants. So notice how I'm keeping those angles the whole time. It is not this, okay? That doesn't really do anything for you, and it makes you wonder, why are we even doing this exercise? So Good. This is why I train people with the hover first, so you can feel what it's supposed to feel like. So zip up. Good. We'll start on the right side. Good. We'll come to a hover. Shh. Exhale, center. Other side. Good. Come to the hover. Shh. Exhale, center. This does take practice, right? Shh. Left. Shh. Set 3. Shh. Shh. Set 4. I inhale on the lower. I exhale on the left. There's 5. And we're going to do one more because we're going to add on here in a minute. And 6. Whew. Those can be tough. Bring your knees in, rock, rock, rock. If that was challenging enough for you, you'll do a few more of those. Those of you that want to kind of pick that up a little bit, your legs will come back in a tabletop, but we're going to zip them together. So now both legs are going to come into that hover at the same time. So rolling your shoulders back. Good. Here we go. Come to the hover. Woo! 1. 2. Watch your pelvis here. Stay in neutral. 3. So that means some of you may not be able to take your toes into that far of a dip. 4. We're going to go for 6. Here's 5. And 6. Whew. Take those knees in. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. While we're here, take your hands to your knees. They might want just a little bit of a roll here. Good. From here, when you're ready, we are going to transition. So I am going to cue you to either roll over to your side or we'll roll up like a ball. Good. So I'm going to come up here, using thighs or shins, and roll. Try not to swing the legs if you're rolling here. You want to practice where you can do that with your core and your breath. So then over time, you don't need that momentum. So from here, good. I'm going to come up. Woo. Good. We're going to grab our twisty ring. We're going to go back into some work. So I'm going to take this ring forward. I'm going to get a light pressure. My elbows are slightly bent. Good. I'm going to keep a long spine here. I want my feet to stay on the floor, so I do have that little bend. I'm going to hinge back. Good. I'm going to press center. 1, 2, 3. Come up. I'm going to rotate. I'm rotating to my right. I'm going to come back. Press. 1, 2, 3. Come up. Come back center. Rotate left. Hinge left. 1, 2, 3. Come up. Center. Hinge center. You can take these low as long as you can maintain good form. So just know that. 1, 2, 3. Lift. Rotate. Take it. 1, 2, 3. Lift. Rotate. Rotate. Take it back. 1, 2, 3. Lift. Center. Last set through. Taking it back. 1, 2, 3. Lift. Rotate. Take it back. 1, 2, 3. Lift. Center. Rotate. Taking it back. 1, 2, 3. Lift. Center. Whew. Release that ring for a moment. Take your legs long in front of you. Fold forward. Good. From here, when you're ready, we're going to go into some more rolling. So if rolling like a ball, like you did if you took that, which is this one, is enough for you, enough of a challenge, stay there. We don't want to keep on adding challenge unless you've mastered the previous version. So seal or seal puppy, we're going to take one arm under one leg. Okay. Hopefully you can reach that foot. And we'll take the other arm under the other leg. So basically here, you're balancing on your sits bones. Good. And then see if you can roll here, coming back up. And if you can, if you want to have a little fun with it, then you can go with the claps. You can clap, 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 clap. This is meant to be fun. It's not meant to be serious. So smile, laugh, maybe have gratitude that you're able to roll. Whew. And I'm going to come up. I'm going to hold here just for a moment. I'm going to lengthen my spine. Whew. And take those legs long. Good. From here, when you're ready, we're going to roll it down. Have your ring handy. Good. Once you're down here, we're going to go into our hundreds. So remember, if you're more of a beginner or have something where you just need to keep your feet on the floor, you can. Your options are going to come up. You'll be right here. So you're looking for stability here. You're not looking for this number. So be mindful of that. You can add more challenge by pressing into the ring as you're up here. Okay. Same thing. Some of you are going to be tabletop with or without the ring. The ring is on the inside of the feet. You're going to get more inner thigh engagement. If the ring is on the outside, aka feet are on the inside of the ring, you'll get more outer engagement, okay? You can also take your legs long and diagonal with or without the ring. The lower you go, the harder it is, but not at the expense of your neutral spine. So I'm going to stay right here. Good. If you're pressing into the ring at all, remember that action is from the hip. It's not from the knees. So from here, we're going to take it up. Big inhale, exhale, nod the chin. Start pumping long and strong. And we inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift higher. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, reach deeper. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Belly button in. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, hold. Could we all lift higher, reach deeper a little bit more? And then exhale, we'll take that down. Whew. If you use the ring, just kind of take that to the side. Just wiggle, wiggle, wiggle side to side. Good. I'm going to take my ring to the side for a moment. We're going to go into that series of 5. You'll have some opportunities to bring the ring in here. Well, we're going to go into single leg stretch. So knees are going to be back in that tabletop position. Good. So remember, tabletop, knees are over hips, shins are parallel to the floor. Arms up. Zip up from pubic bone behind the navel. Exhale, C, curve it up. Let's start on the left side today. We always start on the right. Good. So I've got my right hand on my left knee. Left hand is on that left ankle. I'm reaching my right leg long. So that's where your stretch is. It's stretching coming in. So you're stretching both sides. Good. And we switch. There's 1, 2, 3. Hips stay even on the floor. 5. Good. I totally lost count, but I'm going to go for the burn, and I'm going to go for some endurance. If you are keeping count, 6, 8, 10, or 12 is where you can go. Good. And then once you've completed your magic number, we'll bring it in and we'll lower. Legs up towards the ceiling, single straight leg stretch. Inhale, exhale, coming up. I'm going to start on the left side again. I'm going to hold that calf. Right leg's going to come long, but it's not collapsing. You're active. Pulse, pulse, switch. And switch. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. And 10. And 11. Woo, could I make it to 12? Woo, bring that back in. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Double leg stretch today. I'm going to offer you a version holding on with your hands. So my knees are going to come in. I'm going to C curve. I'm going to come up enough to where I can clear my knees with that ring. Good. So big inhale, exhale. Here we go. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. In 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7. Tuck that chin. 8, and 9, maybe 10. Could we do 11? Woo, could we do 12? Bring that in, take that down. Remove that ring. Whew, I'm gonna wiggle, wiggle side to side. Give yourself a little neck break here. Take that head from side to side. No, we are not done. We've got 2 more exercises in that series of 5. We're gonna go to double straight leg stretch now. You can bring in that ring if you'd like. So you can have it legs on the outside. That'll give you inner thigh work. The legs on the inside. That'll give you outer thigh work. I did this the other way when I did my hundreds. So I'm gonna do it a different way here. So remember, if you're using the ring like me, action is from the hip, not from the knee. Upper body can be grounded or lifted and C curve. You choose. Big inhale, exhale, C curve it up. Good. And I'm gonna lower to my limit where I can maintain neutral and lift 1 and 2 and 3. Whew. 4, you don't have to go too deep. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whew, 11. I'm gonna fight for my 12. I'm sweating too. Whew. And bring that back down and take that ring away. Good, let's wiggle, wiggle, wiggle side to side. Last exercise of the series of 5, everybody's favorite love-hate relationship, the crisscross. So remember, you can make this easier. If you want to keep your feet grounded, you'll just work that upper body. Otherwise, knees are back in tabletop, hands behind the head. Again, you choose 6, 8, 10, or 12. Go to your limit. Inhale, exhale. As I rotate and come up, I'm trying to touch left shoulder to the left knee, and then I'm going to switch. I want my elbows to be wider, but not their widest. My hips are even. I think this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, woo, 11, I'm feeling it, and 12, and take that down, and maybe sigh with gratitude that we are done with those. Okay, we're gonna stretch out a little bit here. So I'm gonna use my ring to help me stretch and to do a guided or supported leg circle. So if you don't have one of these, a strap or a band will also suffice. So I've got my right foot on the top handle of that ring. Good. Find a grip that's okay with you in your range of motion. Your other leg can be bent or extended long. That's all about how it feels for you. And you can bring it in. So you can have an overhand or underhand grip. You want to keep length in the torso. Some of you have a lot of depth here. Maybe you can take your forearms under here. This will not work for everybody. You still want a little softness in this knee, so we don't want it to be locked. And if you're using the ring, if you press through the heel, you might get another kind of stretch here. Breathing and expanding. Good, and then when you're ready, good. So I'm gonna release. I'm gonna take this out to the right. Both hips, both shoulders are gonna stay grounded. So again, if I can get my words out, underhand or overhand grip. Some of you might be able to keep that forearm and elbow in there as well. If you're looking for something special, you can tug in towards that shoulder. But remember, special is just that. It's a special kind of stretch, but it does not cause pain, tingling, burning, numbness. Good. And when you're ready, we'll come back up. Good. Change the grip. So opposite hand is going to come onto the ring. The other leg can come long. Good. So you might have to kind of move that leg around here to find your sweet spot, but I'm going to arc over. You also can have a deeper bend in that knee, but we're looking for the stretch in this area right here. Good. Breathe and expand that rib cage. Belly button is still in here for this series. It's still core work, even though it's not active core work, but you're still working and using your core muscles in front and back side of the body. So we'll come back in here. Good. We're back to center. So I'm just going to take same hand as leg. I'm going to bring a little bit of a bend back in that other leg just for a little bit of stability here. And I'm just going to do some guided circles. Now you might have a little bit more range of motion if you're using a strap or a band stay, but we're just kind of circling through. If you're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen with that, then just kind of release. Nothing too strenuous, nothing too much. So we always make changes to suit our bodies in the moment. It's just Pilates. Good, and then when you're ready, we're gonna take that right into the other side. So good, you can put a little bend in that other knee. You can extend that leg long. You choose, and you might have to do something different on this side than you did on the other side. There's nothing wrong with that either. So for example, my left side, that knee had to be bent. This side, I'm okay to have my legs stretched long. So choose. Good. Find where your grip is. Bring it in. Remember, a little micro bend in that knee. Breathe and expand. Good. Belly button is still in here, supporting that low back. And when you're ready, we'll release. Good. So from here, good. Changing your grip, we'll take that left leg out to the left. Both hips, both shoulders stay grounded. Good. So I can't come to my widest here because my wall is in the way, but I will come and give myself a special stretch with that forearm in there. Good. And whenever you're ready, we'll come back in. Good. We'll release. Again, you might have to move around to find your sweet spot, but we'll move that leg over, crossing the body. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll come back up and we'll release. Good. From here, when you're ready, take the knees into the chest. We're going to rock, rock, rock side to side for a moment. And then when you're ready, we are going to roll over to, I'm going to roll over towards the camera. So that's going to be my right side. But if that happens to be the left side, that's okay. We're going to do the same thing on both sides. So I'm just rolling over to the side. Good. Now we're going to do some side leg work here. I'll give you an opportunity. We'll bring the ring into that today. So some of you might be up on the forearm. Some of you might have legs long. You might have a bottom knee bent. If this is going to be where you practice, good. We don't want to be hanging in the shoulder. So you want to be lifted, and you want to be lifted in that torso. So even though I'm lifted in the shoulder, I'm hanging in the torso. So you want to be lifted. If you're like, that's too much work, too much to think about, just come down here. This is where I'm going to be. Good. So I'm going to do this a little bit more advanced. So I'm going to stretch my legs out long here. Think about balancing on your hip bones. So it should feel like if your hand is not in front of you, you're going to roll forward. We just don't want to be too much back here. So if you're a little bit more of a beginner or need some stability, you'll bend that bottom knee. Good. So from here, I'm going to lengthen. My belly button is in. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to kind of lift and lower. I guess if you wouldn't really be here for this first one, that's okay. Now, if you have good balance here and you want to add a little bit more to this, take your top arm up and over. Good. Good. So I can, it's really hard for me to do so. I guess you could say I have to think really hard about it. The Pilates principle of concentration. Good. And then from here, we'll bring that down. Good. Now it's okay to bend that bottom knee. So we're going to really reach that top leg long. Go ahead, just circle the ankle here before we move on. Good. And let's take that in the opposite direction. Good. Now from here, I'm kind of pointing that foot. It's not an extreme point. If you do that, a lot of people will get a foot cramp, but I don't want to be necessarily in flexion either. So I've got my foot. Good. We're going to lift 6, 8, or 10. And we've got 1, 2. Come back hovering at hip height. 3, 4, 5, 6. Both legs can be long. You can modify like me. 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Come right here. Good. What we're going to do is we're going to go into a bicycle. So I'm going to bend. I'm going to lengthen and reach. I'm going to come behind, but I'm not trying to press my hips forward. I want them to be stable, but I want the stretch here. And I'm going to bend and come in. And we'll reach. Good. I'm trying my best to keep my hip and my knee in alignment the entire time. It is easier said than done. Good. One more time. Good. Take it back and pause. Good. Now we're going to take that leg up, bend, take it back, and lengthen. So we're reversing the pedal. Good. And then from here, good. Take it back for a moment. Good. We'll get a deeper stretch in a moment. But we're going to bring the ring in now. So I'm going to take, good, my ring right underneath that bottom leg. I want it to be up from the ankle. I don't want to be on the ankle. That's painful. Good. I'm going to reset. So I'm making sure that my pelvis and shoulders are in alignment. Top leg is going to rest on the top. I'm not pressing yet, but I'm going to be right here. And once you're settled, you feel stable. Good. Zip up from pubic bone behind the navel. Top leg is going to press. So you're getting that inner thigh. You're getting those glutes and hips with this press. This can be 4, 6, 8, or 10 as well. When you've completed your last one, press in and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll lift. We'll press hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift. Good. Now while we're here, we're going to go into a little bit of rotation. Good. So I'm going to turn toes, knees, and hips towards the ceiling. Heel's going to come forward. It may or may not touch the floor. When I come up over, I'm going to turn those toes to the back. And again, you may or may not touch. So I'm rotating from the hip. I'm trying not to swing my pelvis with me. That's internal and external rotation. This is another one of those that gets really intense really quick. Woo! And then when you're ready, last one. Woo! Good. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to have it where I can take it. We're going to stretch the quad here. So bend your bottom knee. Good. I'm going to bend that bottom knee. I'm going to kind of reach back. You can grab pants, ankle, or foot. Good. Drawing up and in. Good. I'm squeezing that back glute as I took that foot behind. Good. Should feel good. Good. When you're ready, I'm going to release. I'm going to take that foot forward. I'm going to extend my other leg long. I'm going to come up here. Good. And I'm going to hug in. And lengthen, lengthen, and woo! There's a big hip opener right there. And when you're ready, we get to repeat all of that to the other side. So have your ring handy. We're just going to flip around to the other side now. Good. So remember where you need to be or where you want to be. Do you want to be here with supported shoulder, supported torso? That's a little bit harder. Or do you want to be down here? Okay, so be where you can maintain good form. So remember on this first one, legs are going to be stacked. We can start here. More advanced people, arm can be over the ear. You choose. And when you're ready, we're going to lift. Good, and good. Feel that burn. It's harder for me on this side than the other side. My hand is staying down on this side. Woo. And whenever you're ready, we're gonna lift that top leg. So remember, we want that little point, but not an extreme point. I'm still engaging my core here. So just because I'm all the way down, doesn't mean I let everything go. And then when you're ready, here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. We're going to take that leg. We're going to go into that bicycle. We're going to bend it in, lengthen, press, and take it back. Trying to keep hip and knee in alignment. Trying not to move the hips as much. Stay with the breath. Good. Let's take one more time. Good. We're going to take it back. Good. Find your stretch. Good. Now we're going to reverse that. We're going to bend, take it up, lengthen. Is that reverse? Yes. If you mess that up, and I often do because I'm talking while I'm trying to transition, then just do the opposite of what you did before. Actually, I think it's this way. There we go. That looks like a backwards pedal. Woo. We'll do a few more extra on here because we probably took a few more extra with that last one. Woo. And then when you're ready, whew, I'm just going to bend this in because that's what I need. Good. So we're going to bring our ring. We're going to slip the ring right up above the ankle. Good. So I've got my leg on top. Good. So I'm lengthening, I'm engaging, and then we're going to press. So 4, 6, 8, 10, we'll get you there, here. So notice how this feels on the other side. You've got your hip working, you've got your inner thigh working, your core should be engaging with each press down. Good, and then on your last one, we'll press hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release, press 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. So now we're going to get that internal, external rotation. So flexing that foot, lifting that leg. Good. Heel forward, toe to the back. The ring is your guide as far as clearance. So you're trying not to touch it. And we're trying to keep those hips even. So heel forward, toe to the back. And heel, and toe. And heel, and toe. Let's get one more. Heel, and toe. Woo. From here, when you're ready, we're going to stretch that out. You can bend that bottom knee, bend that top knee, grab your ankle, foot, or pants. Good. Squeeze that glute. Take that foot behind you. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll bring that foot forward, extend that bottom leg long. We're going to come up. Good. Give yourself a nice big hip stretch hug. And when you're ready, good. We are going to go into some fun extension work here. Have your ring handy. We will finish with that. Good. So I'm going to come belly down now, the prone position. Good. And so I'm going to give options. So where we're going to go here is swan dive, swan rocker, and full rocker. So if that's not where you are, or you have not mastered basic swan, which is this position here, okay, this is where you need to work because nothing else will work if you haven't mastered this prep, okay? So I'll go over that real quick. You're going to lengthen the low body, belly button in, pubic bone into the mat. Hands are going to be forward and a little bit to the side of the shoulders. And then maybe you're a little bit, maybe you're a lot maybe you're high. Shoulders in their pockets. We're supported in the spine. This is support. This is hanging. Be supported. That's what you will lift and lower very carefully and do. Otherwise, those of us that have swan dive in practice will take that. So we're going to lengthen. Belly button is in. We're going to take it up. Find your high swan. And we'll dive and take it down. And dive. And dive. And dive. From the dive, go into the rocker. Use your breath. Woo. And then when you're ready, take that down. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So even if you're just doing the swan here, come and take a little break. Good. So from here, for those of you that do not have full rocker in your practice, I'm going to give you a couple options. You can go back and practice your swan or a sphinx. You can do this one leg at a time. It is a nice little stretchy, just kind of taking it up. Okay. And then when you feel okay, you'll just take it to the other side. Those of us that are going to go to full rocker, bending those knees, reaching back, grabbing feet, ankles, or pants. Good. Think about feet and knees in line with the hips, rolling shoulders back. Now, for some of us today, this might be all you do, and that's okay. But we're going to lengthen. We're going to have belly button in. I'm going to roll my shoulders back. I'm going to squeeze my glutes, take my feet straight up. That's going to give me my lift. And then from here, with my breath and my belly, we'll rock. Good. And then when you've done that, careful not to crunch the back in any of these. We'll carefully release with control. We'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Hands under the shoulders, press back, child's pose. We did it. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll come forward. We're going to end with some nice upper body work here. So if you have a blanket and you need that knee cushion, we'll bring that in here. Good. Now, if your knees are like, my knees don't want to do this, they don't want to be up here even with the cushion, you can do this seated, and I will give you a modification for that. Good. You can also do the same series standing as well, if that's even a better option. But I'm going to demo right here for right now. So hips and knees are going to be in alignment. You're going to take trusty ring. Good. We're going to have it generally kind of close into the chest, and elbows going to be to the side. I'm still zipping up here. My glutes are even slightly engaged. Good. And we'll go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. We'll take it forward. So as I take this straight out forward, have a little micro bend in the knees here. Everything else is the same. And when you're ready, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press, hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. We'll take this up into angel halo. So elbows are out to the side. We're zipped up. Belly button is in. And we've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Good. So from here, if you are on your knees or standing, you're going to put this ring right at the fleshy part of the hip here. So your arm is going to be long. If you're seated, you're going to do this a little bit differently. So you can be seated like I am or crisscross applesauce. You're going to have that ring straight out from the shoulder, and yours is going to be pressing down here. Okay, maybe more there. Okay, so find where you want yours, making sure you're in that fleshy part, not up into the ribs or anything like that. And then when you're ready, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Before we go to the other side, we'll get a bicep curl here. So this one, if you can see yourself in the video. This is another great one to practice into a mirror. Remember, we want this to be nice and vertical here. We never want to press into the side of the neck, okay? So you want this to be nice and vertical. The meaty part of your hand is up high. Good. And then when you're ready, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And switch sides. We'll go to bicep right on the other side. So remember, we want this to be nice and vertical. And whenever you're ready, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Good. So taking it to the side, you're on that puffy part of the hip or you're on the floor, depending on where you're working. And when you're ready, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Great job. Take your hands in, round and press away. Nice little stretch. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll take that down. Good. So we're done with the ring. I'm going to move this blanket to the side, and we're going to come to some modified push-ups here. Now, I say modified because that's what I'm going to demo, but if you can be up into your full plank and do your push-ups from there, please, please feel free to get the challenge at your appropriate level. So some of you are going to push up right here from all fours. Some of you are going to take your knees back a little bit and lift and push up from right here. Otherwise, it's fine. If you've been there for a while, you want to test yourself, come up into full plank. So from here, we want to be nice and wide through the collarbone. Good. And I'm going to modify here today. Good. So as you come down, think about halfway, not all the way to the floor. Elbows out to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a break, or could you go 5, 6? Take a break. Could you go 7? Could you go 8? Could you go 9? Could you go 10? Woo! Take it back, child's pose. So a lot of it is upper body strength. Some of it depends on where you work. So for example, I can do 10 here in all 4. Probably not if I was in full plank. Good. So speaking of full plank, we're going to take that right now. So some of you are going to be modified with knees down. Coming up here, think about a long line from shoulder to knee. So we don't want to be hanging here. And remember, this is not a plank. So find your plank. Some of you are going to tuck the toes and be in high plank. Again, remembering this is not a plank. This is downward facing dog. It's not a plank. This is a plank. Practice where you need to. And yes, we've been here for a while because I've been talking, but we're going to try it again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Drop it back. Child's pose. Good. From this child's pose, taking the hands under the shoulders, we're going to round, 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 coming into a nice tall sit, similarly to where we started. And then from here, just take your arms up overhead, touch the palms together. We'll do a little tricep stretch here. Bend the elbows back. And we'll release. If you need to get a different little movement here, just kind of take your arms out and just kind of rotate, rotate, rotate. Good. Well, I hope that you enjoyed Pilates mat work for today. A little bit of fun with the ring, with some of our more traditional exercises. And I hope to see you again soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.